Hey Simlies, it's Deligracy here with a speed build of my new LP house. If you've been watching the LP, you'll know that this family isn't just one singular family in the LP. We're actually building for two families, and they've been all living together in the one house currently. But now that they've had kids, and we're probably going to have more kids in the LP, because I want to have lots and lots of babies, I decided to build two separate houses with a shared living room. So it's kind of like two townhouses that are joined in the middle, and then there's a living area for them all to hang out, but they've got separate kitchens and other living spaces that they've chosen to furnish in whatever way they like. So this first half is going to be just the build of it, and then I will release another video that's got the furnishing in it, so you can watch what you prefer, or you can watch both, whatever you like. But basically they're going to be furnished differently. So the characters in my LP, there's a couple, Trinity and Cody, who have just had their son, little Carter, who's just aged up to a kid. So this is their house that we're working on at the moment, and there are slightly different color schemes of the wallpapers and whatnot in both of their houses. I felt like for Trinity and Cody, because Cody his aspiration is to become a chef, or he aspires to become a chef. So I wanted to have a really generous kitchen in their townhouse. And so they've utilized the space to have a big kitchen and then a generous dining area so he can cook for his guests and experiment in his kitchen, and it's all nice and big and spacious. The other townhouse is going to be for Xavier and Ashton, and they are the fathers of their girl Liberty, who's a child. So in their house, because they're not chefs, the living space has been converted to include some skill-based activities. So they utilize the kitchen area here. As you can see, there's a big island in this kitchen. In their kitchen, that's actually going to be where the dining table goes. So they have extra room to have a bit of a study area and, chess table. So anyway, this furnishing that I'm putting in here, it's just placement. It's going to be changed. Basically, I've decided, because Trinity and Cody were in their current house first, they would get the furnishings that they currently have. So their side of the townhouse isn't really furnished in the next part. It's only really the other townhouse that gets fully furnished. For theirs, I've just put in, the bathrooms and the kitchen counters, the things that you would actually expect to be in a house when you buy a house. Whereas the other side, we go to town with decorating it all. They're going to have to save up a little bit more though, because it's, I think they're only maybe 10,000 simoleons off being able to move in here, but I don't know if they may get a sneaky inheritance from their parents, the Valentines, who knows. Anyway, so this is me just figuring out the layout of the house. So this area in the middle, we've just put walls to create a rectangle. That's going to be the joined living area. So it's quite spacious. We'll be able to put nice big couches in there. Probably the ones that they already have, I'd say, in their current house. And yeah, it just gives them their own space, but because they're family, they can just wander into the shared living area, and I think that's really nice. I mean, how cool would that be to live in a house, like two townhouses or whatever, with your favorite family members and their kids or whatever, and then be able to just kind of go into the middle area and share and socialize with them. It's pretty cool. I just whacked my hand on my desk. Also, on the right, or on the left now, you'll see this lot is right next to a park in Willow Creek, which I love. Someone in the last LP video actually said, why don't you do a build in this lot, because then the kids can go to the park without having to leave without having to leave the neighborhood and going into loading screen or whatever. So I thought that was a great idea. So it's a very big lot. There's definitely plenty of room to expand. Maybe when they're teenagers, we can build a little granny flat out the back or something for them. Who knows? I kind of like the idea of building a cubby house as well for the kids to share. That's something I'd like to do when they have a bit more money. So I might add that to this lot. It is available for download on the gallery. I did release a video recently telling you guys how to find me on the gallery. A lot of you have been very confused. Actually, how to use the gallery. You've been saying that mine isn't working. It is. I've uploaded everything. It's just there's a few things on the gallery that people aren't realizing how to use it properly, and I don't blame you. It's really confusing, and it should be a lot easier to use than it is. So if you're struggling with that, go check out that other video. I'll link it in the description down below. And yeah, so then you can download this house, and I don't know, I'll be interested to see. I mean, I think some of you guys might renovate this. A couple of you who download it, you might renovate it to suit, you might make it into actually one big house. I don't know. It could change the roofing and really do a lot with it. So yeah, and figuring out I guess the orientation of these bedrooms up the top. We've got a master bedroom and a second bedroom upstairs. Again, it can be expanded for extra kids because there is room over the shared area. There's no rooms there yet. So I've deliberately left that blank so I can build over that if I want to for both families. So that works out pretty well. And I think the roofing would look fine to add to that as well. So it's actually quite a nice house to be renovated. I've deliberately set it up this way so it can be changed around quite a bit depending on where the LP goes. So yeah, a lot of sectional walls. I really like using sectional walls, especially in The Sims 4. I don't know, I think they're really handy because there's not as much choice in furnishings in terms of using swatches and whatnot, that kind of thing. I feel like sectional walls is a good tool to have up your sleeve to divide interior areas so that you can put completely different furniture behind it and the colors don't necessarily have to go with the current room. I don't think that would have made sense to like anyone, but it makes sense in my own head. All in all, sectional walls are awesome. Love them. Enjoying using them in this build. And I was thinking of putting grass on top of that area over the shared area, but it's just a bit weird. I don't know, how many people actually have grass on the roof of their house? Do you have grass on the roof of your house? Like, I don't mean just bits of grass growing in the gutter because, that's normal, but do you actually have a roof with like full-on grass across it or astroturf? I think it would be so cool, actually. Someone similarly tweeted to me yesterday, I think it was, this awesome farmer's house that was shipping containers. 3 shipping containers merged to create this amazing and beautiful house. I think it was on that show called Grand Designs. I think it's a British show. And I think it's probably one of the latest episodes at this point in time when this video was published. So I'm going to watch that. I'm really excited. So thank you to that person for linking me because that looks really cool. And it has the coolest bathtub ever. Like, oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. I love a nice bathtub, that's for sure. I also, speaking of things I do love these doors, how they're different colors to go with the different families. I think that's quite cute. And a little bit of personalization to each of the homes, each of the townhouses. They do have different wallpapers, so they are a little bit different, but they still go together really nicely. There was a house near my grandparents' house in Melbourne, and it's quite a big modern house. And in the particular street that it's on, where there's a lot of traditional homes, it really stands out. It was built like 10 years ago maybe, but I've always driven past and wondered what the go is with that house. Like, I've wondered what kind of people live there. And apparently, like what we're building here, it's a house for a very big extended family, and they all live in the one house together. And I think it's a really lovely concept, really. As long as you have your own space, because I'm sure everyone understands that families can become frustrating sometimes when you're living in the same household. When you're living with anyone, generally, you'll become a bit sick of them at some point. But as long as you have your own space, I think it's pretty cool. These windows, we've made a lot of use of square windows, which I really like. There's quite a lot of light into this house. I could have added more windows and more bigger windows, but I did watch that budget because it is starting to climb now. We're at almost 38,000 with no furnishing or wallpapers or flooring. So definitely was keeping an eye on that, figuring out where it should sit. Oh, it's so nice in The Sims 4 being able to just pick up the house and move it. And I was actually seeing, I just wanted to experiment then if you can pick up the house and move it to another lot. And then I thought, if I save it, can you put that house on a smaller lot? Because it hasn't taken up the full size of the bigger lot. And unfortunately, you can't. But that's what I was doing then. Just experimenting, figuring out the game. Putting in backyards here. Again, we go with the idea of having separate townhouse backyards, and then in the middle there's a shared family area with a barbecue that we will put in, which I thought was kind of cool. We might actually end up putting a door from the shared lounge room there straight out to the backyard too. That would probably make more sense as well, so I might do that in my LP. Of course, they are townhouses, so I wanted to go with a bit of a traditional brick wallpaper. I liked that idea. They're very modern. They do contrast a lot to the other homes in Willow Creek, but you know, I think that's kind of fun that they do contrast quite a bit. I don't know about the neighborhoods that you live in, but generally where I live, houses don't really look like each other. They're all different designs and whatnot. But I know for a lot of you, you probably live in places where the houses are very similar for some of you, which can be very beautiful, actually. When I was in Italy and Tuscany, there were lots of houses kind of... I'm not even sure whereabouts it was. It must have been out on the outskirts of Florence, but there were a lot of houses kind of built on top of one another, and they looked... really, really cute because they were all kind of the same color and they all merged into one in a way, but then they were all separate, which I loved. I'm enjoying the new hedges in The Sims 4. I think the graphics are really nice, by the way, as a little comment there. I do like them a lot. And yeah, so this is basically the final look of the houses. You can see that Cody and Trinity's house on the right. It's a little bit more of a surfy look to it. It's got the blue and like the blue front of it, whereas the other one is a more muted color palette for the boys and Liberty. So, you know, it kind of shows their two personalities up differently, which I like. And yeah, just popping in their separate entrances. It's a bit of a shame there's no Bite-A-Bug mode because I would have liked to grab another mailbox. So they had a mailbox each. But I've just popped it, I think, in Trinity and Cody's house. Just because they were the first couple that we started playing with, that's why. And putting in lots of different plants, scaling. A lot of you guys are still asking how to scale up things. It is control right-hand bracket, I think. I keep forgetting, yeah, control right-hand bracket. So that's how you scale things up. Be careful though, a lot of objects are disappearing when I'm doing that. It's a glitch in the game, but I'm sure they'll patch it up soon, so just watch that. If you do download this and there are objects missing, that will be why. And I believe that from what people are saying from downloading my other lots, it just is by luck if certain items get deleted. So if, say, a dining table is deleted for someone, it might not be deleted for someone else. It just depends on your game. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think anything was missing in my game as such. But yeah, lots of landscaping, making this house have a lot of greenery. It's a very pretty lot. I do like it. I'm very interested to hear what you guys think of this. If you'll be happy for those LP watchers. But I'm loving it. I think it's a very friendly looking lot. And I do like how the two townhouses are mirrored, and then there's the square windows that wrap around the outer edges of the two houses. I kind of like that too. But yeah, I'm liking The Sims 4. I'm starting to get used to building in it more now. And the more I get used to it, the more I like it. I'm just really hoping that I know there's a mod for Move Objects Cheat. If you want to download that, you can check it out at simsvip.com. Alexis has all the links there, or they have all the links there. But I'm going to hold off for a little while before I do that, just because One, I'm not a huge fan of mods in my game. I am very, 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 what's the word? I'm very, very close to downloading mods in The Sims 4, but I'm also keeping in mind that if you guys want to download my lots and you don't have that mod installed, it's not going to work. And I don't know if that's going to delete objects or what it's going to do. If you want to move objects around, it might be a hassle. So I'm going to wait till they actually put it in the real game, and I am 98% sure, 98.5% sure there will be move objects in The Sims 4 sooner than later, I think. Or that may be wishful thinking, but no, I think it's not too far off. I did get a tweet back from, was it SimGuru Grant? I tweeted him asking what the go is with move objects, and he said they can't say what they're working on at the moment, but they are very aware that players are wanting it. So I think that's definitely more than a hint to let us know that it's going to be changed soon, or included soon. Backyards here, putting some nice terrain paints in, and I think we'll put the monkey bars at Cody and Trinity's house that's already in their current lot. That might be nice. And yeah, there's like a little pond fountain area for them to hang out with an outdoor setting and barbecue there. And yeah, get some fountain jets going on. I think we do need a door going out to that area from the shared section of the house. What do you guys think? I'm pretty sure we do need a door going out, so then they don't have to go out to their individual, go through their individual houses to get to it. Putting in some rocks. Trinity and Cody's house have a more rock with more islandy plantation in their house look and feel about it. Then the boys on the other side have more lavender and things like that. So it's a bit different. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are, and I'll speak to you soon.